All right, good late morning, everyone. It's Michael Venezia, head trader at Tradeview Markets. As I'm watching Alcoa fly in front of my face, it's irrelevant of the day. Actually, it is relevant to Friday. A couple of weeks left into the year. I'm being facetious. Uh, if you see what I'm seeing right here, Alcoa, it's kind of a boomer stock. Listen, it's a Friday. You want to know what happened in trade? Listen, I'm going back. We're breaking protocol. Let me sign in. TradeGATEHub. I sign in just the same as everybody else, just because I want everybody to at least stick to the same protocol, if you will. Okay. You want to miss what happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? Go right here. Okay. Coach gave a video on Friday. Normally doesn't ANFO. Normally doesn't give videos on Friday. He did one today not because he thought he had to, because he wanted to. That's a person that's got passion and high respect for not only his craft, but me and the rest of the TradeGATEHub and Tradeview markets as well. We also have a TradeView market, a TradeGATEHub and Tradeview markets, or TradeGATEHub high of a coach's interview with David Hunter, which was Wednesday. No, which was yesterday, Thursday. You know what I mean? 4,500 views. Congratulations, David Hunter. By the way, been right so far. Been one of the people that's been probably the most correct so far. I mean, considering do you see this thing? He's been the most correct so far. And you know what? As people like Marco from JP Morgan aren't saying anything or coming out, everybody's, where's the guy from Michael Barry? What's his name? From JP Morgan, and the other guy from Morgan State. Well, Tom Lee's been good, but look at Alcoa, 3 days. From the poorhouse to the penthouse. $10 approaching the 200-day. Stocks like run 12 to 18. Even though Uber, I know I'm going off the tangents, new highs, by the way, they decided to finally take up lift. I mean, not finally decided, it rested. It gave people the 3-day up right here. And everybody that tried to short it made all their money. Like me, I didn't short this one. I'm actually buying these stocks on them, taking advantage of this type of situation. This isn't, a normal situation where it's just it's not shorting. As evidence in a stock, which you know what? Snap. RSI is 96. There's the daily, here's the weekly, snap. Now nobody's saying it's not going to 90. But certainly it's due for a little bit of rest. And I came in short it a little bit. I pulled the schnitzel. I didn't put my ego aside. I made marginal money, but it wasn't doing. By the way, this is today, 9:43. It wasn't doing what it was doing, what I wanted it to do. I didn't think the bottom would drop out, and I didn't think everything across the board would be down 20% today. It is triple witching, and it may be leveraged to maybe the 17.5 strike price. I didn't check the options yet, but you know what I mean? From 1685 to 1722 is a big deal. I didn't get stuck in it. But finishing my point is, I'm a Gemini, so I can go back and forth. I have a lot of different thoughts going. If you missed anything going on throughout this week, get back and TradeGATEHub and watch all the views. You know what I mean? Even I'm garnering 100 plus views a day. Coach and I, pardon me, a couple hundred views, at least 300-400 views a day. So we're proud to do it and going forward. And Coach, of course, bringing guests. I mean, look at our guest speakers. 6,000 views, no 7, 8. Bravo, Coach. It makes me do better as well as I go to TradeGATEHub. No questions. Okay, let's go back to the action. Tradeview Markets. TradeGATEHub is sponsored by Tradeview Markets. Great site, lowest commissions, tightest spreads. And I'm not being pitchy, but when I see the site that I think I helped curate or had an input on it to a degree, the first thing that pops into mind, everybody should know that I'm a straight shooter, is boom. Lowest commissions and tightest spreads, because it's built for traders by traders. And the CEO and president, Tim Fury, I sat with shoulder to shoulder for some time as a trader. He knows what it is. He knows what it takes. There's no surprise where we are. It's not even going to be a bigger surprise where we're going. Let me go to the wise guys now, because I don't want to look at the screen. There you go. Mike V on top of things. I should be on top of things. This is what I do. Alcoa, Cenex on highs. I didn't have much written last night, but I did have Cenex on here because I felt Alcoa. You know what? That's going to bother me. All my friends that are 50 and older, there's gonna bother them too. Aluminum, they decided to take it up 3 days. My God, look at this, $7 to $10. You know what I mean? Something like this, I wouldn't even want to fade or trade. I think it has, listen, just I'm not the judge and the jury, but oh my God, a lot going on. Cemex might be at the $10 strike price. It's one of those witching days. And no, third day up, I wouldn't be expecting too much for it. Obviously, keep an eye on it with Alcoa, which moving. Uh, let's move on. Macy's. Okay, another one came in. Today's a Friday. Takeover Friday. Ooh, look at this chart on Macy's. Now, this is what I feel about Macy's. Unless somebody, as I go through a couple of other major retailers, Gap stores, PVH shorted it this morning. Said I don't even want to bother with it. Whatever I did at PVH. Goldman Sachs put a buy on it. I thought that was the top. They were trying to get out. Probably right church, wrong pew, Mike V. As RSI's most like all are oversold, or pardon me, overbought as I looked at my screen here. But Macy's. All right, it's a weekend. Now, what do I think about Macy's? There's the weeklies, got support at 16. It obviously is extended, but all the other stocks are extended, which means there's some credence in there. It's not just like Macy's is up on a takeover and the rest of them are pinned down. You know what I mean? When the rest of them are up like that, I'm not saying take it over a weekend, but there is call activity. It is a Friday. When there's smoke, there's fire, but I don't think there's much downside. The takeover issue was here at 16. It wasn't here at 10. It went from 10 here basically on a short squeeze and fundamentals at the same time, much like a lot of stocks did, like the General Motors. General Motors, I came in short that too. I tried to get fancy. What is this here? I tried to get fancy, not with size. I wanted to start building a position. Maybe they were getting tired, but I don't even want to deal with it anymore. It's a Friday. It was one of those weeks. I would knock on wood. I'm not superstitious, but I'm not superstitious, so I'm not going to knock on wood. VRCA popping all over my, there's always something to do. Stocks from 3 to 6. You know what? And when I see stuff, it has the major word in it, pharmaceuticals, especially on Friday. I look at a stock like this that has tremendous volume. I'm not in it, I'm not trading it. That has the move in it. It's not like it has a move from 2 to 8. So it went from 3 to 370. It went above the 200 day. Like I said, it's a Friday. There's a lot of it to do. You can draw the line here. It's probably a little bit of resistance. If it doesn't, it gets to 8. But your risk is, to make a little bit to maybe lose it. They might halt it, but it's been halted a couple of times today. Sexy stock, third day up, coach with a 3 drive. So let's look. I'm not kidding. Let's look, probably stays right here. Keep an eye on it's active, okay? Let me go to some other things. As everything looks like they're parabolic. Zim, look at this, Zimmer Holdings, the shipper. Much like the other ones, I was trying to build, much like these other ones, like a VFC, that you build, you build a position and not build a position. I'm not saying I was buying it down here. It was buying a VFC. Actually, they cut the dividend. That's a poor example. But even like a gap that was down here, you know what I mean? Or something. I look at Zim. I liked it. It was it's a shipper. I knew the shippers was SBLK. The other ones were acting well. Now Zim's taking tremendous. Am I on the chart? Option flow. You know what I mean? It might, I don't know if really, because a lot of these stocks are still staying afloat, like NVIDIA and Avago. The old Broadcom. Look at Avago. Oh my God. Avago, that's the daily. The weekly. They all want in. Everybody's in the pool. It's a weekly. Everybody's in the pool. CPE volume, CPE takeovers, even in the oil sector. CPE was up, and that's a squeezer. Don't get me wrong. I would have shorted that on a fade up because it's an oil. David Hunter would probably have agreed with me. 31 to 34 came to 32. CCJ, another one short. What happened here? Volume, I'm just saying here, volume up 50% on a monthly average. It's Camco, CCJ. This thing, I'm telling you, it's getting heavy. I am telling you, it's getting heavy. I see it on the action in the pre-market. They try to mark it up. See this? They try to take me out short. That's a print. That's a big idea. I had 46. Look, I'll show you. Settings, position info. I'm flat the position. I had 4,600 shares short. No big deal. But you know what? If they tried to print me out on a stop at 46.76, for example, at CCJ, which would have been almost near a new high. And I love the fact that they stopped everybody out at the new high, or basically there, and then came back in. And I covered a little bit, 45. It's a big deal, 4,600 shares, 46.76. The next 6 minutes came down to 46. I took a chunker. I took a little chunker. I'm still short a little bit. Actually, I'm not short a little bit. I'm out of it, but I got my eye on it. It's going to take a long time to matriculate. I was kind of looking for this type of move, but you never know. The volume came in yesterday and it closed below. We'll see. It's going to take a little bit of time. I don't think the bottom's going to fall out, but it's a rotational play. I'm aware of it. I don't want to say blah, 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 but I'm going to say it so I can sit my tape, blah, blah, blah. Planeteer. How you doing? The other ones, they keep going. Planeteer's down now. Ooh, giddy up. I'm short a couple of these things. Another one. My point. Planeteer. IoT. They're all, oh my lord. All right, we have a little action here. Like V. I'm short there. We're short a little bit of action. Docu. I'm short Docu. Turning. I took some off as a champ. All right, we're now. Ooh, Docu right before the telecast, 56, now 56. All right, Docu, by the way, futures are going lower. I covered Docu this morning at 55.37. It's nowhere even near. But I wanted to wait to a 5-minute head and shoulders, which it did right here at this gap. That's why I see this 5-minute chart. That's why I waited the short more here today, Docu at this gap, 56.60. So listen, I don't think it's going to go back to 40. It's definitely overbought. I think it made a new high. Probably we should be buying it on a dip instead of trying to make the hard money. I don't have that much. I'm trying to play around. Avago's still ripping the 10-year yield at the lows. So let's look at Coach. TLT, you know me. TBT, you know Mike V. Is the TBT daily. Look at the TBT daily. I love, you know what? I don't have to watch anything. Coach probably came on Friday to talk about this. I didn't even hear about the video yet. So I'm going to stop dissertating, although I'm talking very quickly. And I'm not even having caffeine, nor am I a drug taker, quite honestly, never was. The highest high to me was always culminating a big trade. And I don't want anything to stand in that way. Why I'm posting at 4 a.m. or trading. I don't stand for it. I don't. Why should I? Boyle, UNG, we have a position. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I told you this was going to do it, maybe be an end of the year trade, though. Maybe one of the last of the Mohicans to go down, or to go up or squeeze. It was last December. They did it in January or February. They do it. 7 to 10. Boyle doesn't do it justice. It's a triple ETF, don't buy it. UNG. Well, how about the other ones? I like the stocks. SU. Ran at the gap. Coach and I were talking about these yesterday. Chevron had a big day yesterday. You know what I mean? It was had a gap. It was a different chart than Alcoa. It's clear. It's like a broken leg to a broken arm. They're both broken. Might still have something in it. I can't read those type of Chevron charts. It's obviously in an inside day with a breakout of a triangle. I know how to Lennar on a conference call. Interesting. I don't know how to read those charts. I like the activity in it. How about Lennar today with earnings? Oh my God, I didn't see this. That hurts. Every stock that I grew up trading were in the late 90s is ripping, including Lennar with earnings. And you know what? I'm going to leave it at this because I got to keep going. Go to TradeGATEHub. It's one of the most important things I say, at least today. But keep in mind, and I posted it twice. Kramer, Costco and Lennar are the perfect test cases today. Great quarters from consistent companies hasn't worked well. Lennar, They had a chance to destroy it at 143. There's Lennar there, all-time highs. Now, I don't know if it's going to close below it, below that yearly high at 149, but they had the chance to blast Lennar. They had the chance to blast Costco. They're still holding stocks up like a Shopify. They're still holding stocks up like a what am I punching at? Four. That was overtaken. Look at that move yesterday in four. That was a takeover yesterday. Boeing. What are you even pausing for? There's Boeing. That is epic. That is epic. I haven't seen a move like that in decades. 2 decades. It's incredible. It's mind-blowing in Boeing. Just mind-blowing. Okay, next. Any questions? Planeteer Baba took a position early in the president's account, if you will. I like it. China's the only issue, not the stock. So hopefully the stock will lead the Chinese economy and not vice versa, which I highly doubt. But the other ones are still going. The sexy ones, LC, they're squeezing some of the other ones, so maybe they'll pick up the good ones. JD, I talked about how bad it was 2 days ago. There's 24 to 28. All right, I'll leave it there, everyone. Let's look at some option guys. Let's look at some option guys. The VIX is now down. The VIX on a Friday. They can't even, no fear, even into a Friday after a run up when a lot of stocks have 80 and 90 RSIs. That'll tell you they can stay sticky on the upside longer than they can. It's did the same on the downside. So that's why it's hard. Everybody else will be doing it. Mara bullish, I'm sure, you bitch. Sorry. Uber. I'm sorry about that. J-Win bearish, MRC, Cenex, another loon play up big today. Lucid, Cenex, repeat buying. Carvana, they're squeezing them again. Squeezing them again. There's the daily. I'm going to tell you. Oof. Now listen, it's not above yesterday's high, but it's not above the it's not obviously it's above yesterday's for the close. So it's in the range. Be aware of it. From yesterday's low, yesterday's high, previous day's high, low. With volume, all you need to know. Not even worry about the economy at this point. Know that it's a Signet. Oh my God. Bull bet repeater. This is Signet daily. They make fit. Not only did they previously made poor diamonds, now they make poor fake diamonds. Signet Jewelers. Also Signet. And it's a bull bet. Going into when? January. So nobody cares if it's going to be down next week. They say, you know what? Maybe the January effect takes this thing up to freaking, oh my God, look at Signet. But it's a retailer. It's emblematic of what's going in the market. I'll leave it there. Lennar, market constructed. So Lennar's talking. Lennar's chirping. I did say Lennar CNBC was on CEO was on CNBC, right? That was the move. Look at this, the flush. Did the opposite of CCJ. 144 to 156. Pull back to the gap. It's all about the close for Lennar. It's all about the close. But what a range with bar and volume. 3 days with big volume on the upside seems sticky. Seems sticky to me. I don't know. It seems sticky to me. But I'm going to trade price action range and volume. My opinions are relevant. Lean would remind us that. Okay, I'll leave it there, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for a week. Always something going on. And for those who are not familiar with how you can take advantage of it, it's definitely either by a variety of basically every financial instrument that Tradeview Markets offers, including our futures platform that last week I had Jason on, an executive from Tradeview, who's a futures expert in a variety of products, including commodities. So go back and look at TradeGATEHub. Anybody can always ask or contact anybody. We're always working. We pride ourselves on our great live chat. Anybody can talk to me in the room afterwards. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Have a plan. Don't let your trades turn into positions. If you do, know what you're buying. So until then, thanks again. Cheers.